aloha, and good morning to you. You know what? It is a beautiful, beautiful day in the sovereign Hawaiian Kingdom over here on Kamawailualani, Atui, the island of Kauai. Much aloha to you this morning, wherever you are, wherever you at. I hope you're feeling sovereign today. And we've got a great show planned for you, but we're going to start the way we always do by paying tribute to the still sovereign Hawaiian Kingdom, its people, La Hui o Hawai'i, our kupuna, our elders, our aumakua, our guardians, and our akua, our gods. Wherever you are, stand tall, stand proud, and sing it loud, because you are a kanaka maoli. Kia I mai, ka po mai. E nana ia mai ka haleo kako, mai luna a lalo, mai kahi kihi a kahi kihi, mai kahi kina a me komohana, mai ka uka a he kai, mai loko a waho, kia ia ma lama ia e pali aku I nā ho'opili kia ana I ko kako no hona, a mama ua noa. O guardians of remote antiquity, watch over our home, from the top to the bottom, from one corner to another, from the east to the west, from the upland to the sea, from the inside to the outside. Kia ia ma lama ia e pale aku I nā ho'opili kia ana I ko kako no hona, a mama ua noa.
That's what my church men say. Keep your sights on tomorrow, but don't forget about yesterday. Should you fall, pick yourself up. You got to keep the faith. The power's in the pahu. Let the rhythm show you the way. L-A. The power's in the pahu, and it has always been that way. With every pa'i on the la'i, revelations of a better day. Use your brain instead of wrong, and that will make you strong. The power is in the pahu. Let the beat go on and 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 on.
mana ko ka hai Hawai'i. He mele no e kalahui, e o.
KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea. It's about 12 minutes after 9. A gorgeous, gorgeous day on the island of Kauai. And I want to say big mahalos to the gang in Anahola who got the business done. I drove through there today and there's like gorgeous cement and real nice little hale for the bus stops. Not only in Upper Anahola, but also in down by the store. They did 4 of them. So kudos to the Ka'awai Ohana and Dustin Barca and all their gang that went over there and just put up some shelters and said, hey, we don't want to let our aunties and uncles sit in the rain anymore. And you really got it done. And you know what, Anahola, you deserve it. You deserve the very best of everything. So congratulations to you, Anahola, for getting it done, taking care of your kupuna and your people that are differently abled over there that have to catch bus. Mahalo nui loa for taking care of business. Coming up at around 9:20, we have Auntie's breaking news. So tuna mena, tell all your friends. Keep it right here on KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea. Here's a song going out to the town of Anahola. This is by Lono, and it's Onipa'a Lili Uokalani, and you're listening to KKCR Hanalei.
Mo i
Going out to all our ohana in Anahola, the Hawaiian Kingdom on the island of Kauai. Love you. This is Oni Pa'alili'u o Kalani by Lono. And you're listening to KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea. I'm Ku'iulani with the Songs of Sovereignty. Mahalo for tuning them in. And as usual, there is devilry afoot. What's going on, brother?
We're actually driving down towards Ha'ena. We're going down to work, and we noticed we come around White Cocos. If you look around the sky right above Princeville, fellow islanders, they're spraying like meantime. There's like 3 planes that are doing loops, and you can clearly see them. They look like shapes in the sky, and they're still flying. I have a pair of binoculars, and I couldn't really see what kind of aircraft it was, but there's 3 of them, and they're kind of looping right in front of this storm. I don't know if it has to do with the storm that Oahu had last night, that maybe they're trying to either increase it, intensify it, or take it away. But you can definitely see these these clouds are trippy looking. They're not clouds. You can tell. They're trails in the sky, and you can still see them right now. If you look outside your guys' window or out of your car, they're right above Princeville, and they're moving, coming towards Princeville because of the way the wind's blowing.
Wow.
So I just wanted to kind of just put it out there. My grandpa was a weather person for NOAA for a number of years, and he's seeing what they did. He unfortunately passed away, bless him, but he was saying what they're doing now is nothing what they used to do back then. They're manipulating the sky. It's called bioengineering. I know a lot of people are informed who listen to KKCR, but they're doing it in broad daylight right now, and that's not normal. And so I just wanted to we tried calling the police department, and they didn't really give us any time of day, and it's for the keiki, it's really, this is their island, this is their future, and they're going to grow up knowing this, I just need to call and just let people know that look up, always look up, because there's always something above us that's happening.
Unreal, yeah. It's like every time I drive up here, because I'm a driver, I see what they're doing, and if you grew up here back in the day and you look at the clouds then and you look at the sky now, it's different. It's like being in a science fiction movie almost, I think, every time. But a lot of times driving up too, I see them almost like they're making a quilt. They're crisscrossing their lines and stuff. And this is really going on. It's not far-fetched, people. This is actually going on. Go outside your house right now, Princevillians, and look up to the sky and see what's going on. And then if you're concerned for your health, go for it. Call 911. Let them know that we know what's going on and we want it to stop. So that's I think that's what we got to do if we want to get them to stop doing this. I don't know how to get them to stop. If anyone has any great ideas,
Tried calling, and every governmental building you call, they always say you need to call this person, you need to call this person. They just kind of take you around like a little tiny tilt machine and kind of just, how you do this and go through the steps, hop through the hoops, and then you never really go anywhere, and you get frustrated and you end up just giving up. And that's exactly what they want you to do.
This is why we need to deoccupy this kingdom and be the sovereign Hawaiian kingdom again and get them out of here. Because
we like our local clouds. We don't like that kind of fake clouds.
We want the real fluffy, nice cloud that's holding a little bit of ua for when we pause serving a little rinse after.
Below it, they're the cumulus clouds that get the rain and feed the aina, and everything, give us water. But the ones above it, that's not real clouds. I don't know what kind of clouds that is.
Right. Well, mahalo nui for your call this morning. And then I don't know. I guess pretty soon we're going to be breaking out the gas masks around here. I don't know what to say. Take care, brother. Mahalo for listening. Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you.
Aloha. Oh, we lost our other caller, Kalamai. That's sorry you had to wait so long, but you can give call back in a few minutes. We're going to do Auntie's breaking news. First of all, it's just amazing. Wait. We're going to take this call. Hui, you're on the air. Hello. KKCR, you're on the air. It's Auntie's breaking news. You perfect.
Hey, perfect, because I went to take a picture of that while I was leaving my house. It's like crazy. So look on my Facebook. I posted it. I was trying to put it on your Facebook.
Okay.
So you can see what it is. It's man's sky today. If you're feeling not too good, it's because the chemtrails and the sides. And it's CIDES. poisoning.
Oh, I see it. I see it. They're looping.
Oh, yeah, girlfriend.
Oh, and Patchy just sent a picture as well. I'm sharing it to Songs of Sovereignty. Unreal.
Yeah, they're killing us. My husband wondering why he cannot swallow and he's choking it.
Wow.
That's right. And you won't believe me.
Ooh, I was going to stay North Shore, but maybe I'm going back to the east side tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, or stay inside, aircon. Foodland get free aircon. library get free aircon. But yeah, stay clean, stay safe, and it's a man's sky today, so protect yourself.
A man's sky today. All right, mahalo nui for calling in.
Okay, aloha.
I'll see you later. Love you. Aloha. And Auntie's breaking news. Well, we are probably the only guys going to be reporting on the airwaves today that we are being bioengineered. Some call it geoengineering. You know what's funny? My little dog seems to be really sensitive to when this is going on. If you guys know my puppy, Kupa'a, he's about 9 years old. He's very perky and personable, but he's very clingy and weird whenever they're chemtrailing. I always know when he's been around chemicals because he acts really like he's not feeling good and just wants to be in my lap and just, very almost like anxiety for him. It's crazy. So I've got the pictures to prove it. Did you see it, Dean? You didn't see the maybe you can't see from where we're at here. But Patchy just sent us a picture, texted me a picture of it. Here, Dean, check it out. It's wow. Okay, so you can go to my timeline, Ka'iulani Mahuka, and you'll see a picture. I'm going to try and post it from my timeline to Songs of Sovereignty. I have these privacy settings, so let's see if I can do it. But it's definitely on my timeline, Ka'iulani Mahuka. You can see the chemtrails going on over here on Kauai. And it's just been so strange. I grew up here. The weather has been just creepy strange. It's like summer has never arrived. Very strange weather this year. And, we know they are doing it. We can see it here on the island. If you're listening elsewhere in the world, I'm going to send shouts out in a little bit. We're getting the Centova cast up so I can see who's listening in this morning around the world. That's one of my big thrills for the week, to connect with other countries on the planet. I'm just so thrilled when I see which countries are listening in and knowing that, they support our sovereignty. They support community radio and community. That's the kind of guys that listen, yeah. Okay, let's do Auntie's breaking news. First of all, I am just tickled, not pickled. Oh, what a Freudian slip. Yeah, later on I'm going to be pickled. I'm going to go meet my friends down the beach. But I am tickled pink at the natives in, at the original people on Turtle Island that are staving off the evil corporate pipeline. And I have posted some video on my timeline. They got guys on their horses, riding up and down, blocking the pipeline construction. All the native people are gathering in this area. So I posted, it says, these Americans want to shut down a new oil pipeline. And it's quoting this man here. So I'm going to play this little video clip. I got to plug you in as part of Auntie's breaking news. And I'm just super thrilled to see that more and more the people are rising up and protecting Mother Earth. And it's not just about being a native person, because we're all native to somewhere. We all belong to the planet. So, it's not just a matter of, I'm not from there, so I don't have to care. We all belong to this planet, and we all should be concerned and knowing what's going on. So let's head over to North Dakota for a minute here and check out what these guys are doing.
Down a new oil pipeline.
The last time the 7 bands of the Lakota, Dakota, Nakota Nation stood together was at the Battle of the Greasy Grass, June 25th, 1876. So this is historic that they answered that call.
We're outside of Cannonball, North Dakota at a Dakota Access Pipeline construction site, but there's not any work going on here because protesters have halted the construction.
We have had incidents and reports of weapons, of pipe bombs, of some shots fired.
When we say we're loading our pipes, that's our chinupa. That's a sacred object that we carry to communicate with everything within creation. It's not a weapon.
The $3.8 billion pipeline is supposed to run from oil fields in North Dakota to Illinois. It doesn't quite cross through the Standing Rock Reservation, but it will cross the Missouri River less than a mile from the reservation.
None of our water comes from anywhere else. It's just all from the Missouri River. It's overwhelming, and like I said, we're scared. It's threatening not just us, but like I said, our future generation.
The people we talked to here are worried that if the pipeline were to leak, it might pollute the Standing Rock Reservation's water source and other reservations downstream.
Mini Wichoni is water is life. There's a renewable alternative for that oil. There is no alternative for water.
More than a dozen people have been arrested so far, including the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe's chairman, and the oil company is suing the protesters in federal court. In a statement, the company told us the pipeline is in accordance with the law, and that this is an important energy infrastructure project that benefits all Americans and our national economy. The Standing Rock Tribe also has a separate lawsuit in a D.C. district court against the Army Corps of Engineers for approving the project.
This is our Aboriginal territory. So where we are today is the Army Corps taken area, but we own the mineral rights and we own the riverbed. And I hate to say own because it's not in the American sense of owning. We have our own word, wo wa'u oniha, which is the collective ownership.
For Newsy, I'm Kate Grumke.
The collective ownership. The collective ownership. And we, Kanaka Maoli, also own the mineral rights here in Hawaii and the water. And we have issues with our water being stolen right now. Not in that degree. Like, this thing is going to kill everything downriver from it. It is really going to change the face of the planet and affect millions of people's lives. And so it's really gratifying to see our Native brothers and sisters rising up and, blocking this thing. Like, when you look at the videos and stuff, it's so encouraging. They're wearing their feathers and they're riding their horses, and they're just, here's what the answer of what the government has done now. I'm going to be reading off of a news blog. Let's see. It says, the government has shut off the water supply to Indian protesters. Heavy-duty black trucks showed up. And it says, I feel like I just got shot down, said Janelle Langang, Executive Secretary to Standing Rock Sioux Nation Chairman. And the tribe's emergency response coordinator. It's very hurtful. She's responding to the removal of the state-owned water tanks from the protest grounds as the tribes continue to fight the installation of the Dakota Access Pipeline, which threatens to taint the public's water supply across the nation. According to a report in Inforum.com, black heavy-duty trucks showed up and pulled the water tanks as temperatures at the campground soared into the 80s. 2 air-conditioned trailers and a command center vehicle delivered with water tanks a week ago by the North Dakota Department of Health at the tribe's request were also hauled away from the campsite, which overlooks the confluence of the Missouri and Cannonball rivers just south of where all the oil pipeline would cross the Missouri. Governor Jack Dalrymple issued an emergency declaration to counter protest, terming them a safety risk. He also claims the land they are protesting on is owned by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The next evolution in this injustice would be ticketing the campers as being unauthorized and then simply removing them. The Standing Rock Sioux Tribe also filed a separate lawsuit in D.C. District Court against the Army Corps of Engineers for approving the project. That's it. That's Auntie's breaking news. You heard it over here on KKCR Hanalei KAQA Kilauea. And on the air right now, I think it's Auntie Nani. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
So, Auntie Nani, across all over the world, people are fighting for water. And here we have now our Native American brothers and sisters that this is actually a defining moment, I believe, in U.S. history. I think next is coming a revolution where all the nations are going to rise up and secede from, kick the U.S. government out. I really believe that a revolution is coming similar to the disbanding of the USSR back in the day. I think that is in the future of the United States. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not going good over there. It's not going good. They're just breaking too many.
We can connect with all those other people that are having the same pilikia as us.
Yeah, well, they just continue to break their treaties, break their word, invade, enslave, etc., etc. So now you have been, we've all been trying to figure out where the water is from Mount Waialeale'aole. No more waterfalls coming down the face of it anymore. I mean, just gone.
The water diversions by KIUC.
Exactly. Down the backside. They started doing this, I think, around 2010. I started, checking it out up in Kokee, seeing what they were doing up there. And so
you came to fruition until 2010 is because the lease permit for the water expired.
Right.
So KIUC now wants to reopen that release.
Now, isn't Alexander and Baldwin saying they own the water of Waialeale?
Huh?
Or was it, maybe it was Grove Farm. One of the plantations is claiming...
They're stealing the water, too.
Yeah, they're claiming they have ownership of Mount Waialeale's water, our water. So it's been kind of
the most stupid statement I ever heard.
It's been really a tangled web, to figure out how they've decided they get to have this water. So you wrote a letter to who?
Kamana'o Crab, because the OHA Board of Trustees had a meeting here on Kauai last week.
Okay.
Last week, Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay, so share about what went on.
I did a Kauai report.
All right.
And I wish more of us was there, because not very many Hawaiians didn't show up. Anyways, that's what happened. I talked to Kamana'o Crab and I asked him, I said, OHA, you folks are in a issue with the water diversion, the water theft of our water happening on Kauai. I said, it's been since 2010 and we're still waiting to resolve this issue. What's going on? So instead of him responding, he let Everett Oha, who is the person that we really originally spoke to back in 2010 about this. I think OHA is kind of in a contested case situation about this re-permitting process. So they have the right to say whether the permit will be allowed or not. So what KIUC had to do, then they said they were going to do a biological report and a cultural assessment report. They hired Kehalani to do the assessment report, and you read my email.
Yeah, go ahead and read your email.
Okay. My response from Everett. Hold on, I'm going to open them up. I'm shaking because I'm so disturbed.
I am too. It's like, where's our water?
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Response to my question: water theft, diversion of waters from Waialeale. I call it water theft.
It is theft. It is theft. The water belongs to us. And like you just heard in that video clip, in that audio clip, it's not ownership in the American sense of the word, except that, yes, we do have a treaty that says we own the mineral rights.
Well, yes.
So, it's called the Treaty of Reciprocity. So check that one out. But anyway, go ahead and read your email.
Okay. He says, unfortunately, we do not have much in the way of updates since your check-in with us in last October. as you note, we are still waiting on the completion and release of a cultural impact study by Kehaulani Kekua of Native Kauai LLC. Last November, received an update from KIU stating that Kehaulani was beginning community consultation and that a draft report was to be available for review in May. We later received an update in June stating that the study was to be ready for review in August this month. Earlier this month, we received another update that KIUC expects the study to be delayed even further. So you see what the situation is.
So, and in the meantime, you know, water's being stolen and millions of dollars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he says, we've already scheduled a meeting next week with KIUC staff to discuss the status of the cultural impact study. Earlier, I had asked them to tell KIUC to hire somebody else because we cannot wait, all these years. But he said, well, it's KIUC's Kuleana because it's a contract between them and her. So I said, well, you tell KIUC then because you can talk to them and not to Kehau. And tell them what we want somebody else to do it already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from that meeting with KIUC and the impact study, Everett is saying we should get a better sense of what steps still need to be completed, as well as when OHA and you can expect the study to be available for review. I will provide you with an update after we meet with KIUC next week.
Well, it's unfortunate that
I told him, if you can have a meeting with KIUC, can you invite us? I want to be there. He said, the meeting will be in Honolulu.
Okay.
One person from KIUC. I said, well, I don't like that. I hope you guys have that meeting here with us, with KIUC.
For me, OHA's position should be about who the hell gives them the right to use our water.
Yeah.
We never gave consent for them to use our water. The water belongs to the Kanaka people.
Right.
So you can do all the studies you like. Do all the studies you like. You're still violating the treaty.
Violating is the word.
Mm-hmm.
And there is
You're still stealing from us.
Going on.
From every Kanaka on this island, they are stealing from you, Kanaka. That water belongs to you and your children and your grandchildren, not to plantation owners, not to GMO corn growers, not to golf courses. The water belongs to the Kanaka Maoli people. And I want to understand, that's my biggest question, is who gave them permission to use the water? Their permit is up.
That's right. And they're going on a month-to-month kind of a permit right now.
And who is permitting them? Because the original permit was from who? Hawaiian Kingdom. And then somehow the permits, back in the day when Hawaiian Kingdom allowed some of the water diversions, then now who gets to decide? Like, who is the top dog that gets to decide, this guy gets to have the water, that guy gets to have the water? I'm hoping here on Kauai it's not Beth Togioka of Syngenta. Because she just
it should be the people to decide.
Yeah, she just got put on the water board, by the mayor.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So you see where I'm going with my commentary here. I'm getting a little negative. But actually, Kanaka, I'm talking to you, Kanaka Maoli, especially the water families on the island. You know who you are. You know it's your Kuleana water families. And some of you are working really hard and moving and shaking, and I congratulate you. But we need for every Kanaka.
Not only me, there's a whole group of us that we've been on this for a long time. Not just me.
Right.
My network, my Ho'okipa network.
And it is, like you said, the irony is fighting for the water is like drinking water from a fire hose. Isn't that the irony? But anyway, so Auntie, I want to play this song for you. Thank you for calling in this morning to Auntie's Breaking News.
I don't know, but I would like to put a message out to Kehaulani.
Okay.
If you could please. I'm sorry this is public, Kehaulani, but we've been waiting since 2010. 6 years. What is the holdup? I went on a Hawai'i with her up to go and look at those 2 water plants up there with Grove Farm. We know the situation. So I wonder what kind of report is she going to give. Is it going to be supporting us, or is it going to be supporting the people that paying her? You know what I mean, babe?
I do, Auntie.
Yeah. So please, kahea back to us. The people want to know, not just Nani Rogers, all the people of Kauai that care about our water. They want to know, what's the holdup? It's because of that cultural assessment that we cannot resolve this case. And it's been 6 years, since 2010.
Mahalo, Auntie.
So this is my plea. Okay.
Mahalo nui. Love you.
Aloha. Kia kuapu.
I can see lovely paradise built there within your eyes from my waterfall. Of your fantasy, a place just for you and me, my love. Spread your wings and fly away. Fly to that distant star from my waterfall.
And you're listening to KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea. And I have on the phone my favorite poi maker, Adam. Aloha, Adam.
Aloha. Thank you for letting me share mana'o about what Auntie Nani brought up about the Waialeale diversion. So it's really, really important that we understand it because it's absolutely critical. So, and I agree 100% that it's not their water. But what has happened is that the case, as far as the state, OHA, and KIUC are concerned, the case has already been resolved. They've signed off on the water. The only thing that is keeping them from receiving a 60-year lease on that diversion, like A&B has on Maui, is the lack of the cultural assessment by KHAO. If she had turned it in already, they would have received their 60-year lease because, and this is very important to understand, as in most of these issues, it is procedural, not substantive. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't matter what she says in there. As long as the cultural assessment is completed, they're going to receive their 60-year lease, and it's over.
Wow, so it's a blessing.
It is actually a blessing. It's very difficult for us to understand because we think.
Oh no, I get it because I know how these things. It's there. That cultural assessment is just on the checklist to get the agenda pushed forward.
Exactly, and that's the frightening thing is that everything is signed off on. It's all done.
Wow.
Now, all they're waiting for is the delivery of the cultural assessment, and it's over.
Wow.
And so right now we have this huge opportunity to try to back things up. And to their credit, I mean, there's a couple of people that we really, really, really need to mahalo, and that is, first of all, Jonathan Schuer, when he was with OHA, he was the one that prevented the state from immediately granting KIUC that 6-year lease. He is subsequently gone from OHA, but Everett Ota and Kualani, I think, were the attorneys that kind of picked it up from there and at least guided it through the requirements. But I've seen the biological report, and it's bogus. It has nothing to do with reality, but they will use it to grant KIUC the lease. So it's and I don't know what to do at this point, but we are we're at least have some flexibility. But if the report is completed, it's going to be a much steeper hill to climb. So I just want to make sure that people understand it is a terrifying situation because you're talking the next 3 generations of Hawaiians will have their water given away to KIUC from the state. And here's the really unfortunate thing is that the hydro plant that water feeds from Waialeale now provides less than 0.5% of the island's power. We don't need the water. We don't need that hydropower anymore.
Wow. So they just want to keep the money rolling.
Sure, because you know where the water goes after it leaves the hydro plant? To grow farm.
Uh-huh. Huh. Wow.
So
okay, can I ask of you, Adam, to get can you give Auntie Nani a call and bring her up to speed? I'm not sure why OHA didn't respond. Looking at their email, I'm not sure if OHA knows that's the only thing holding things up.
Oh no, Everett is. He's fully aware of that. Now, they need to be reminded. Auntie Nani is exactly right. They need to include the community in all their communications with KIUC so that we know what's going on, and that they need to have their feet held to the fire. And I will work with Auntie Nani on this because because it is critically important. Because if they are actually granted the lease, I mean, then only another court battle can bring it back.
Well, mahalo nui for calling in this morning. This is a very critical issue, like you've said. Thank you so much. Keep me up to speed when you can.
I'll do that. I'll call Auntie Nani right away.
Thank you, Adam. Mahalo nui. Mahalo.
Aloha.
So there you have it, Auntie's breaking news. Now we know why, and it's because of the lack of that being checked off the checklist, the cultural assessment. And this is how they do. They want a cultural assessment so they can move forward on their projects and their different agendas. And most of the time they move forward anyway, even without the cultural assessment. But essentially, a cultural assessment or a Section 106 is just part of the checklist to get done so that you can get your development or whatever finished. You just have to check it off the list. It doesn't matter what you find out from the cultural practitioners of the area. Yeah, I've been to hundreds. You sit there, you do these PowerPoint presentations, you give your testimony about this part of what they want to do and that part of what they want to do. They feed you lunch. Sometimes they bring you lays, but in the end, they do what they want. Absolutely do what they want. The bike path is a good example. Lots of bones disinterred and moved for the bike path when they could have moved the path, So it's just really cuckoo, and I just can't wait till we deoccupy this fake government that has not got... It only cares about funding the U.S. military occupation, and that's where all the visitors' dollars are going. It funds the military, and that's all. It's such a lie. Everything here is really a Disneyland lie. I'm sorry to tell you this on such a beautiful Kauai morning. All right, moving on in Auntie's breaking news, and we've had some good stuff this morning. I have an update From, wait a second. This is the county of Kauai. Let's see what they have to say. Aloha. Oh, they hung up. I wonder why the county of Kauai was calling me up over here. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can just call them if you got any issues. Call the mayor's office. That's what I do. But Uncle Walter Ritty has been on top of, or getting in front of the theft of the Queen's trusts regarding free health care for Hawaiian people. All us supposed to get free health care. So this is an update from Uncle Walter Ritty regarding the, let's see, North Hawaii Community Hospital. And so here he writes, Mahalo nui loa to all who organized the meeting in Kamuela last week and the more than 50 residents in attendance who shared their mana'o and disappointment in what the Queen's CEO, Queen's Hospital that had the Queen's Trust, Art Ushijima, has done to North Hawaii Community Hospital. I think everyone now understands why the Native Hawaiian Health Clinic was closed immediately after Queen's Health System took control of the Native Hawaiian Health Clinic, Hawai'i, and Native Hawaiian Community Hospital, NHCH, and those employees were simply terminated or fired without any explanation. Art Ushijima's 2013 salary, $5 million, are the profits generated from the Queen Emma Trust. It is centered in the heart of Waikiki and will soon be expanded to Parker Ranch lands, to which Native Hawaiian Community Hospital and Art Ushijima control nearly 50% of the Richard Smart Trust. Art Ushijima and those who have been hired to conspire against our people are no different than those who stole the Hawaiian Kingdom in 1893. They are thieves, all of whom must be brought to justice and held personally liable as war criminals in the International Courts of Justice. The Swiss Federal Criminal Court, which has universal jurisdiction for war crimes, including those committed in Hawaii, has found that Switzerland's treaty with the Hawaiian Kingdom continues to be in effect and valid. Thus, if Joseph Ackerman, the former chairman of Deutsche Bank, can be prosecuted for war crimes of theft and pillaging in Hawaii, so can Art Ushijima and his co-conspirators. The next meeting with Uncle Walter will be Wednesday, 24th, August 5th, 5 p.m. at the Green Church in Kamuela. Sickening, the theft, the pillaging, the raping of our assets, unbelievable. So it's like, come over here, help yourself. You like some money, just take it from the Hawaiians. They don't want it. What? Anyway, there's a lot of information on that. If you want to go, Uncle Walter is really on he's on a mission to get it done for us. So check him out on his page for more information on the pillaging of the Queen's Trust regarding our health care. Aloha caller, you're on the air.
Hey, how's it?
How's it?
How you guys doing?
Good. How's you?
I'm listening to this about the water.
Okay, we go back to the water. We go.
I've been walking up to a couple of water areas above Anahola. I've seen where the stream's coming from, and the walls stay wet. Come from the fern, and then you come down the wall, you fill up, and then you come down it's the Papa water, Papa Ranch water.
Okay.
And coming from just drippings and coming right off of the wall from the mountain, that's brother.
Okay.
And then the thing been flowing pretty good, and I notice sometimes you go, I see when the cow doodle and all down there, but I thinking about seem like these guys is rolling over everybody, and then they we don't can do nothing. Seem like they breaking all the rules, and then we say following the rules. It seem like we really. I push for violence and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And I had one old Hawaiian that I used to talk to over here. He used to tell me, boy, the only way it's going to happen is if you're going to die in the struggle, or people die for the struggle for bring attention to them, because if not, it ain't going to happen. So, he won't pure Hawaiian, he told me this. And I was like, wow, Uncle, that's kind of heavy. But it seemed like maybe that's true, you know, because it don't seem like we getting anywhere, you know. So I can kind of see with all the water and electricity and all this kind of stuff, all this new infrastructure, all these grids they're bringing in, it's for new infrastructure, for bringing more houses. It's not for making it any cheaper or make more farms. The water they're taking and the electricity they're creating is not for what exists now. It's for create more houses, communities and stuff and cars and all that. That's the American way. You know, the other trip you bring up about never have that many Hawaiians over there. Plenty Hawaiians. They don't care. They love the American way. Because they might get children who get illnesses. They need insurance. They got to have money, so they go work for certain companies that we say you traders. But they're surviving. And then, and I know plenty of brothers. I live around them as my friends, you know. They switch camp. They always tell me, hey, you go switch camp. Cause, yeah, I switch camp for the time being, but I got to do this. I still love you, brother. You got to do what you got to do. And at this time and age, the system's been running with it. All us Kanakas, all these years, was sleeping. Us guys, too, is to blame. We don't show up. We don't go support because we work for the other guy. And then when we go over there, we see holding sign against our own businesses, our own employer. You know, so there's a big kind of dynamic in all of this. It seems kind of like it's unfair, but I still cannot not like my fellow Hawaiian just because you go work for the poison guys or because we all work for the tourists, you know. I mean, the island is tourist run. So it's kind of heavy because I see a lot of the action, and we're the most crooked country around. And it ain't going to change, you know. So for me as a Kanaka, I say jumping right into the dirty side because it's the only way for survive at this point. So, you know, I wish everybody the best, but we still got to be good to our Kanaka brothers and sisters, even though they're switching camp.
That's what I always say, no Kanaka left behind.
We're supposed to still love them.
No Kanaka left behind. Mahalo nui, bra, for calling in and sharing with us, because you represent your age group, the guys like you that are out there. You got families. You really represent that for us to hear from you, from your heart. So mahalo nui for calling in. And hopefully that those of us that never switch camp, we're working hard to make it so that you don't have to make that choice. We want to change things, really. And it just takes a lot of time and effort because the theft is deep, yeah? The theft is deep. It goes layers and layers and layers of lies and theft and murder and pillaging and just so shame.
Who we going to blame for all this, man?
No, we just have to
blame America and man.
We have to accept responsibility for what is today and then move forward with that. Yeah. Thanks so much for calling today, Bride. Thank you so much. You too. Aloha. I love when brothers like that call in and they share deep from in their heart. You can really hear where this brother's coming from, you know. We want to live our lifestyle. We want to live our culture. We want to be Kanakas, but we have to do what's controlling things here. We have to participate in it. We feel dirty for it. I feel dirty for it sometimes. It's really a hard thing because we have no choice. In Hawaiian, that's called koho iho. Your choice is, my choice. We have no choice. I gotta be a taxi driver. You know, some guys gotta go work for the poisoners. We're all living the American dream. But the hope of the future is deoccupation of Hawaii and sovereign Hawaiian kingdom, where every man can be guaranteed food to eat, a place to live, access to resources, live your culture, live your lifestyle. We be the peace center, the global peace center on the planet in the middle of the Pacific. We have treaties with all these different countries. Only one country violated the treaty. So we can rise like the prophecy says and become what we once were, the Hawaiian nation. You're listening to KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea, the Songs of Sovereignty. I'm Kaiulani. Mahalo nui loa for tuning in this morning to Kauai Community Radio, K224CQ Anahola, K284AL Haleiwa, 90.9 FM Hanalei, 91.9 Island-wide, 92.7 Anahola Moloa'a, 104.7 on Oahu, 95.1 on the cable, and streaming on the web. Aloha to all of you on the web at kkcr.org. Programs like Songs of Sovereignty are made possible by KKCR, her affiliates, in partnership with listeners like you and our generous underwriters, Kamoa Ukulele.
Kamoa Ukulele Company, dedicated to building high-quality bell-tone instruments, built with a one-player-at-a-time philosophy. From student models up to custom masterpieces, Kamoa Ukulele Company, a family-owned business, supports KKCR. 652-9999 or online at kamoaukulelecompany.com.
Aloha, this is Brother Sam from Kamoa Ukulele Company. You're listening to KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea.
Mahalo nui loa for tuning in this morning. I gotta play this for you.
The views and opinions
just for you who know like me
are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of KKCR, its management, staff, board, members, volunteers, or underwriters.
And we have SentovaCast up, which is our online graph where we can see who's listening online. Unreal. Mahalo nui. Dean's been in here working. We've had a little techno difficulties lately. I know there's a lot of ghosts around here, and they love to play with the stuff, the electromagnetic frequencies. I want to say aloha to my second home, the Schweiz, Switzerland. Guten Morgen, wie geht's dir? Thanks for tuning in this morning from Switzerland. Love you over there. And if you have a heart for me, and if you want to get, you feel like sending me a present, I am dying for some salsits from Kur. Anyway, aloha to you, Switzerland. Canada listening in, aloha to you, our brothers and sisters. I don't know more. I love you guys over there. Thanks for tuning in. France listening in this morning. Bonjour. Thanks for listening to Kauai Community Radio. And our Japanese brothers and sisters. Japan loves us and we love Japan. Aloha to you this morning over in Japan. And let's see. Across the United States, we have people listening in from San Francisco, Downey, California, Lexington, Kentucky, Burlingame, California, Edmond, Oklahoma, Hayward, California, Wenatchee, Washington. Let's see. I was hoping some of our North Dakota brothers and sisters had tuned in this morning. Schaffhausen in Switzerland. Ooh, I love you guys over there. Bend, Oregon. All my gang over in Oregon listening in, especially over in Veneta this morning. Joyce and John and Stacy guys listening in over there in Veneta. Aloha to you. Aliso Viejo listening in. Alamo, California, Fairfield, Iowa, Encinitas, Urbandale, San Marcos. That's Christy. Christy, you're going to be here soon. Woohoo. And then we shall partay. Ooh, I can't wait. Let's see. Brookings, Oregon, listening in Stamford, Connecticut. Aloha to you over in Stamford. San Diego, Oakland, Manhattan Beach, listening in. Sunnyvale, Astoria, Oregon. Sherman Oaks, Oceano, California. Grosse Pointe, Michigan, listening in this morning. St. Louis, Missouri, and San Jose, California. Also, let's see who's listening in or who's streaming us on Facebook this morning. Let's go look them. I always get so excited at this part of the show. And I want to remind you, coming up at about 10:45, we're going to do the conclusion of the Adventures of Leimomi with Frank B. Shaner. And I think you're going to like it. It's very fun. And then we're going to start it over again because, by the way, it's fun. It's very fun listening. And I think you'll enjoy it the second time around. Let's see who's listening in on the internet right now. I can't even tell. How come I can't tell? Oh, Brother Guy listening in over on the east side. Isha listening in this morning. Love you, Isha. Robert in Honolulu. Crystal is over in Oklahoma. And let's see who else. Joyce and John, I said that already. And Pono in Honolulu listening in online. Let's see who's on the phone. Aloha and good morning to you. You're on the air.
Oh, goodness. I was trying to reach Dean.
Okay, well, you need to call the office, 826-7774.
Thank you.
All right. Well, sometimes that happens. Aurelius called in during Auntie's breaking news. Our first breaking news was that we are being sprayed with poison right now while I'm on the air up here in Princeville, the chemtrails. We've posted. I couldn't get it to post to my timeline on... I couldn't get it to post on... Songs of Sovereignty page, but it's on my personal timeline, is a picture of the chemtrails. There were 3 jets evidently flying overhead and doing loop-de-loops, major chemtrails over the North Shore this morning. Aurelius called in because we said on the air, we were like, how do we get them to stop? And evidently there's a video on the internet, on YouTube, called What in the World Are They Spraying? And there was, and you know what, I'm so sorry, the name of the town just escaped me, but I guess there was a town that was able to do a lawsuit and get them to stop spraying. So it's in that video. I will watch it later. It's called What in the World Are They Spraying? It's on YouTube, and that's regarding the geoengineering, the bioengineering going on over here and all over the world. They're, controlling the weather. So I am going to play now the prophecy of our queen. And it is performed for you by Leonel Akana Anderson. I love her voice. I imagine she sounds exactly like what Queen Liliuokalani would sound like. The timbre and the tone of her voice. And my voice is not as cultured. Our queen was very cultured. She was educated and, was also a musician and a songwriter. And I can only imagine what her voice must have sounded like, but I think Leonel comes really close to it. So take a listen. This is off Uncle Butch Keikahu's album, The Aloha March 2000, Beyond the Apology. I was lucky enough to get a copy gifted to me by Liko while we were in Washington, D.C., because they are hard to come by. Again, this is the dramatic reading of Queen Liliuokalani performed for you by Leonel Akana.
More deadly than the treacherous and treasonous crimes foreign insurgents perpetrated against the Kingdom of Hawai'i is the arrogance with which they raise their swords. They have betrayed a loving people who had welcomed, sustained, and fattened them with the arrogant notion that we were a people incapable of self-determination, regardless of the historical truth that we had sustained a spiritual, happy, and healthy existence long before their ancestors had ever set foot on our pristine shores. We and only we know best what is good for us and the land we love, worship, and cherish. We had educated our children to consider only the best of both worlds and to be fruitful in all their works, that we may all prosper. But the government which stole my throne is interested only in prosperity for the few. Instead of my people serving the land that gave us all life, they are enslaved by the system that serves my people cultural death. While imprisoned by the foreign insurgents, I began to translate the Kumulipo, our ancient creation chant. For me, this daily work was an affirmation of who we were and longed to remain. Outside my prison walls, I knew our children were being beaten for speaking Hawaiian at school, that our spiritual and traditional medical practitioners were being driven to the mountains to hide in caves, that our sacred lands were being desecrated, our elders berated, their native tongues silenced out of fear for the children. Upon my release, I went to Washington, D.C. to appeal to Congress to deny annexation and return our people to their rightful place. But the prayers of my people nor the pleadings of their queen could penetrate the cold steel hearts of the mere men who thought little of the rights of God's people. I am old now, powerless to help my beloved children who come to my empty breasts for nourishment, who gaze through the iron fences surrounding their ancestral lands, my beloved children whose eyes are dull, their songs silenced. But I know this, as long as there is one among them who knows the truth of their birthright, he will teach another, who in turn will teach another, and on, and my people will rise and once again stand as the nation they once were, the Hawaiian nation.
You're listening to KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea. That's the prophecy of our queen, and it is happening. I know it's hard to see and feel it. It seems like things are worse than ever. However, it's actually really going down. It's going down. And, once the tide is turned, it cannot be changed back. And so we are headed full speed towards sovereignty. Just believe it. We're making headway in the international courts, and it's going down, I promise. Of course, Hawaii News Now is not going to share that with you. Anyway, this song's for the brother that called in. I didn't get your name. Thank you so much for listening and for sharing your heart with us this morning. This song is for you.
I know my people anywhere. The tree is broken, but the roots are strong. Use my voice to lift you higher, for you are not alone. My mother is your mother too. When I walk, I'm not alone. All who came before stand beside me now. I can hear their voices in the music, in the falling rain. My father is your father too. You are a jewel upon the sand, strengthened by the fire.
kakaua, ai na, o te uka kahiaka, o na o iwi, o Hawai'i nei, no kuhula, e ha'amipa, ai o la ma. Ua mau ke o ka haina,
KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea, the songs of sovereignty, and we are rocking the house down this morning. Mahalo nui for tuning in this morning, for all your calls, your emails, your messages, for all the love and support you give me every week. I tell you, you keep me going. You keep me going, and all you Kanakas out there, no, don't be discouraged. We are advancing steadily. We are advancing steadily. And especially my cousin that just called up, brah, every day we're making a difference in the world and with our people. So just stay strong, stay strong. And now I have cousin Rob, Chief Rob Pa on the air with me. Okay, so let me set you up, okay? Because I drive all the time. So one day I'm driving down to go to Hanalei Bridge, and you get a little irritated because when you hit the bridge, you might be going to, have to wait till people figure out how to count. But I come down and I see Kapea Iki at the top of Hanalei Bridge on a tall bamboo. And I'm like, okay, first of all, who did that? How did they get up there? How did they do it undetected? And is it still there? Yes, right on. So tell us what's going on with that.
Well, I come across the flag one morning. I'm driving up to get fuel, and I see the flag. Don't have enough time to take a picture. I come back down the hill, and I take a picture of the flag, and I post it on Facebook. And it's really good to see stuff like this. And, well, apparently the state thinks that I put that flag. Chief climbed up there to the top and put that flag up there. So one of the superintendents for the state took it upon himself to say that he's going to take that flag down that Rob Pop put up there.
Uh-huh.
Exact words coming from a couple of the workers.
Okay.
Now, the flag...
But you didn't put the flag there.
But take this flag down. They got to stop the cars. They got to put a boom truck up. You're going to do this just for one flag.
But wait, you didn't take the flag down, or you didn't put the flag up there, did you?
Not at all. The guy doesn't even have the cocoa who put the flag up there. He's just one part of the kingdom, and he believes in our kingdom.
Huh.
Yeah, and his brother's been fighting for a long time for the kingdom. He even carries our plates. We stay strong. But the thing is, Caillou, is they assume already right out of the gate that it was me that put it up. I had something to do with this flag. I was shocked. I was really happy to see that flag flying. Once again, we are not in Kingstown. We're still in Polynesia. We're still on our own homeland that Kamehameha has gave to his subjects. Now, we're not the minority of this place. We are the chiefs, we are the Konahikis, and we are the stewardesses of this land.
The stewards.
We are to make peace. We are to be humble to one another. And we have to respect each other. And that's our way of living in the kingdom. And I just want the state to know that they have just been really, 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 really rude to our people. They steered genocide. Even the workers are steered on the continuation of the genocide, of the suppression. And they're so ignorant that the Queen has a protest letter against annexation. And the county and state has never, ever proven their jurisdiction. They've only said it as far as we know, and I believe that this is the state. But as far as we know, they have never proven, by a reasonable doubt, that this is part of the United States of America, because they'd be lying in it, it's a fraud, and that it's really sad that they want to just take one flag down because it irritates them to see that flag up there. They don't want to see our flags flying. And I just highly advise everybody to get a flag and start flying them on their cars. Everybody. I mean, just start flying these flags and wave it around.
There's a lot of brothers. There's a lot of brothers and sisters driving around with the flag. It's true.
Yes.
And I get so thrilled.
And, just be proud of who you are, because stand firm, stand strong, because it's coming and it's here, and we're here. And just to know that we're here we're going to have a meeting coming up. I'm going to call you right back. I'm waiting for the guy's call. That's why I waited so long. He hasn't called me yet. But we're going to we're scheduling a meeting together so we can teach people how to actually get yourself, they call, out of the box. When they write you a ticket, everything they're writing on that ticket is inside of a box. When you capitalize your name and use lowercase letters, and you use a hyphen and a colon in your name with the period at the end, you sever yourself from that box. You become an individual sovereign to yourself.
Right.
Not to nobody, not to a government, not to a nobody agency, nothing. You are a sovereign individual within yourself. And if you don't know that, you always get caught. And anytime you agree in a court, you agree they're over you. And it's really scary, but people got to see the YouTube with Megesso. They have to see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm hoping Megesso's going to call in. We talked about him calling in. Both his cases were dismissed with prejudice, and it's really interesting, his information. I'm hoping to get that together to share with the community. So, well, mahalo for calling in. I'll see you around. I'm going to spend the next couple days on our beautiful, beloved North Shore. And you know what, Rob? You're right. This is still our home.
Yes.
This still belongs to us. Yes. And, that's the thing. Every Kanaka, I don't know, did you hear that brother that called in earlier, how he just bared his heart? It's hard to choose.
Yeah, it is hard. It's scary for them because they don't like go to jail. The thought of going to jail scares everybody because it takes you away from your family. It takes you away from your job. It takes your self-esteem away. It kills your morals inside of you. As a Polynesian, all you like to do is live your life and live on the land that was given to us by our ancestors.
Yeah.
Not by no state, not by no county, not by no official, but by the kingdom.
Right.
And by our people. And we live in a different life. Our souls is open to everybody, and we love everybody. But don't back us up in a corner and try to push us off our land, because then you're just continuing the genocide, and it's wrong.
So Sister Tammy just posted a nice picture. She must have been driving across the bridge when she took it, but there's our flag right there over Hanalei. And if you're visiting, if you've just arrived on our fair shores, we want to welcome you to the sovereign Hawaiian kingdom, the kingdom of Atui, the island of Kauai, the separate kingdom. You should know where you are. You are not in America anymore till you go back over there. Thanks for calling this morning, Rob.
Yes,
mahalo nui.
But just one more thing, cousin.
Okay.
To let everybody know, we get plenty more flags for put up, so I know people gonna keep putting them up.
Let's just fly our flag. That's my mana'o. Fly the flag proudly. I don't like when people wear the flag.
No.
I don't like if you wear the flag, but I want to see our flag.
Yeah.
Because you got some cuckoo kind Americans driving around here with American flags on their car, and I'm like, brah, you can put up 20 flags, you still not gonna be in America, okay? Good for you. I'm glad you're funding the flag makers, but I don't care how many American flags you put up here, you're not gonna be in America. That's just how it is.
Just remember, when the time comes, just remember what flag you fly. You have to go fly in your own country.
Absolutely. Yep. And I know they don't have nice beaches over there like we get over here. All right, Rob, thanks so much for calling in this morning. Aloha. Hui ho. See you down the beach. Aloha. And you're listening to KKCR Hanalei, Kauai Community Radio. I am going to play some Big Island Conspiracy. I'm just having a hard time picking which one, because I love every single song. So I think I'm going to go with Willie Bright. I really love this song, and it's for all our brothers that are incarcerated, all the gang that, they send overseas. I think they said that there's more Hawaiians in some of the federal penitentiaries than any other ethnicity. Anyway, let's just send this out to all our, he mentioned that the brothers no like go jail. It's true. We don't want to go jail. Sometimes we got to go jail. I had to go get lock up a little while just to try and protect our bones from being dug up because, I didn't want them digging up our iwi kupuna. Anyway, for all of you that rise up, stand up, if you like this song. This one's Willie Bright off the Big Island Conspiracy album, Street Tapestry. Mahalo for tuning in to Songs of Sovereignty this morning.
He comes from the house of Aina. Let the bloods in. Kapukawehi kona mama's house. She wonders where he's been. Said he's been to the house of a foreign design. Them near lost his connect of mine. Said he know now that justice is blind. We the evidence, not the crime. 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 Said she's been to the house of foreign design. Them near lost his connect of mine. Said you know now that justice is blind. To this very day he continues to look for the answers to the problem in the holy, holy book. Was it cosmic intervention or Anglo malice? We recognize it was no shocking drive. U.S. forces on the native life. No cosmic intervention was the Christian need for world domination. We the evidence, not the crime. We are the evidence, not the crime. That's right. We are the evidence, not the crime. Have you heard? We are the evidence, not the crime. We recognize it was no shocking jive. U.S. forces on the native lines. No cosmic intervention was the Christian need for world domination. Me, I'm from the house of Aina. Will resist with the strength of the elders gone. Holding to the promise of the children to come and greet each morning. Connect our sons and daughters. I really think you ought to get off your duffs and holler. Resist. Be the evidence, not the crime. We just the evidence, not the crime. That's right. We just the evidence, not the crime. Have you heard? We just the evidence, not the crime. Sons and daughters, I really think you ought to get off your duffs and holler. Resist, resist.
Hawaiian Music Calendar is supported by HawaiianMusicStore.com. Mahalo, HawaiianMusicStore.com for your support.
Aloha kakahiaka kako. Welcome to or email it to events@kkcr.org. Attention Linda. Mahalo nui loa. Have a great Hawaiian day.
KKCR, Honolulu, KAQA Kilauea. It's Ka'ilani. It's 10:31. And coming up in the next hour is Democracy Now! So that's always good to have, more of a hammer after I'm done here. And I'm looking for I was talking on the phone, so I'm a little behind right now. Hang on a second. I'm looking for a certain song. Oh, my guests have arrived. Hang on. I'm going to put a song on. Hawai'i Aloha is the one I wanted to play because it shows my beloved Liko Martin playing it on Hanalei Pier. If you've ever seen this video, it's really unreal. It's Playing for Change collaboration. And so I'm going to put that on for you right now while I get ready to introduce our guests.
Take 7.
E Hawai'i e kuone hanau kuhome kulahivine Oli loa wina ponolani o E Hawai'i aloha
E au oli e nā o pio Hawai'i nei
Oli e Oli e Mai nā ahe makani e pāmai nei Mo ke aloha
E hai mai kou mau kini lani e
name.
Maunke aloha, no Hawaii. E Hawaii, aloha e.
Oh yeah! Roger.
That is such an unreal rendition of Hawai'i Aloha with tons and tons of, it's like a who's who of famous musicians in collaboration with the schools. And of course, my favorite part is seeing Liko Martin on Hanalei Pier playing his guitar. It's a great video. It's on YouTube. And the song is called Hawai'i Aloha. Awesome. Great way to get into our next topic on Auntie's Breaking News. I don't know. I had a long Auntie's Breaking News this morning. And you can put a headphone on and ask also, what is brother's name? I can never remember his name. Pardon? Dylan. Have him put a headphone on too. How can I forget that name? All right. So, mahalo nui loa to everyone who's calling in, who's listening online this morning. Saying aloha to Christy again this morning. She loves that song, Hawai'i Aloha. I can't wait till you get here, girlfriend. We're going to go put the mermaid tails on. Last time Christy was here, her husband Will put the mermaid tail on, and we were at Ke'e Beach, and it was so hilarious because we did this really cuckoo underwater video, and it was hilarious. She's laughing. Very fun to play mermaid, and also saying much alohas to Joyce. You just messaged me again from over in Veneta. Thanks for listening this morning, girl. I can't wait till you come back to visit as well. I have so many great girlfriends, and not only here in Hawaii but around. Got lots of people that love me, and I'm so grateful for that I get to all this love. All right, so moving on, I have my next guest in the studio. I have with me Mageso Ko. How's your headphones? Your headphones working okay? Yes. Okay. So Mageso, let's just do a little background. You came on the show, I think the last time was during Fun Drive, to give us an update. But you were arrested when?
That's a good one.
The first time.
I was arrested when I came to support an individual with my staff in May 12th, I believe it was.
May 12th. So you have been arrested several times.
No, only formally once.
Only formally once.
But actually that was, they actually let me go, so there was no formal processing.
Okay, so you weren't really arrested, but you had these traffic violations, so-called traffic violations. So you'd been going to court over a couple of years' time?
Since December of 2014.
Yeah, so about 2 years going to court for traffic issues. And the issue is they don't like your license plate.
Pretty much they don't like my sovereign status as an individual.
But you were pulled over for the license plate?
The license plates primarily, yes.
And who are your license plates with?
I have plates currently with the Polynesian Kingdom of Atui, and I also have a plate with the World of Peaceful Nations, which is my own plate that I developed as a sovereign individual.
Okay. So you got pulled over for traffic violations. Now, they didn't impound your car. Your car is still driving on the road.
Yes, it is.
But how many violations did they actually give you for the plates?
I believe it's about 200 violations with over 40, 50-something tickets in that time frame.
Unbelievable. And each ticket, about $1 amount for that?
We're looking at about $400 per ticket.
Jeez.
Or more.
Jeez. Okay, so
including a fee for driver education, which is interesting, $7.
Oh, because they had to educate you about you not having the right license plate or some BS.
That I don't know how to drive.
I tell you. Okay, so you had these violations, about 200 of them, about $400 a ticket. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for the state and county coffers, right, for Department of Transportation, if they were to get you to be able to pay all those fines. So you started going to court, and so you have now defeated them, and your cases were dismissed with prejudice. And now what I'm going to do is turn the microphone over to you, and I'd like you to explain to your listeners in a very easy way so that any Joe can kind of get how you discovered what to do, how you did it, and how you were able to defeat the fake illegal court system in the fake state.
Well, first of all, you have to be your true self. I've always honored myself as a sovereign servant of a higher source, and I stand in that belief. And I always come in peaceful volition because my intention is with balance and harmony. So I brought spirit, if you would, back into the courtroom initially, and after that we realized that we weren't really speaking the same language, and so therefore we had to find the correct language.
Okay.
And what I discovered, I believe, over time is the reason they took the Hawaiian language away was that it's one of the only pure languages left on the face of the earth. And so an English variation would be proper syntax.
Okay.
Which is speaking in correct English terminology. So when we go there, we're speaking from our knowledge. So I would say, for my knowledge of my peaceful volition is with avoidance of perjury, that we participate in correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, which is when they fly the flag outside, that's what it's asking for, correct communication. It's not a postal flag. And I also, with the volition that I'm not there to be harvested for money or extortion, because that's not my intention. So again, it's just standing strong in the truth of I haven't committed a wrong in my world, which is a sovereign world, because I was created by a sovereign being.
Well, but according to the federal government and the state government, which we know is here illegally, you are not using the right license plate to travel on their roads.
Well, for my knowledge of the facts, is their license plate is not of the correct kind, because
they're here illegally.
for my knowledge and communing with the Hawaiian people, and that I've learned over time, and the reason I initially took the Polynesian Kingdom of Tui plates is that their plates were more legitimate than the fake state of Hawaii plates. And so I stand on that, and the Hawaiian Kingdom is a sovereign kingdom.
Okay.
And why would I be driving around with illegal plates? That to me is a violation of my own belief system.
Okay. So you have now these 200 violations worth a lot of money, and you've discovered the common language, which is English syntax. And so you brought this into the courtroom.
Yes.
So I know when we had our little session together a couple weeks ago and you guys were teaching me about this, because I've discovered that I have not been speaking the Queen's English correctly. You made my head spin around, so I can just imagine Judge Trudy's head, and the judge is in there when you brought this into the courtroom. So essentially, you took apart the document, the tickets, or what Raven was showing me is his violation that he was issued, and how he just translated what was written on the piece of paper. So go ahead, because I'm not doing a very good job of this, but essentially...
Well, again, we'll introduce that. For my knowledge of the facts is with the claim of the fraud, which is an adverb-verb syntax of the salvage documents by the court servants, which means there's over about 300 violations or fraudulent references on an actual ticket that they issue to you.
Just because they're not using the language correctly.
Right. And they also, their terms are also in boxes, and boxes negates.
So once you brought this to their attention, well, obviously it worked because they dismissed your cases with prejudice. But what was the response of the courtroom? Did they know what you were talking about? Do they know that their documents are fraudulent?
The judges are trained in syntax knowledge, so we know the judges are aware. In terms of the prosecutors, I can't speak for them or anyone else. I wouldn't do that. I can only speak for myself and for the knowledge that I have.
So here's the situation.
And I should point out that these documents weren't brought directly to the courthouse. They were brought to the prosecutor's office directly.
Okay.
Because they needed to be properly docked as evidence, if you would, to support the sovereign claims of myself and Raven and another woman named Karen, because we are all standing strong in who we are.
So I'm still at the point of the very tickets themselves, because of the way they're printed and written, and the actual ticket itself is a fraudulent document.
Yeah, it's not to say that they wouldn't stop me again in the future, because the judge did make reference to that, but it will be an education process, because I'll be syntaxing those any time I'm stopped on the spot, because I don't understand what's written on their documents. It doesn't make sense with my knowledge of the English language.
So can you give us an example from a traffic ticket of the fraud that is on the document itself? And Raven had shown me...
Well, first of all, your name is a fraud.
Okay, explain how our name is a fraud.
Well, the name is written in all caps. And my name, my birth certificate, who I claim to be, that is not how my name is written.
Okay.
So therefore, when we were born or created, we were given a social security number and a name in all caps, which put us in part of the corporation.
Okay.
So that was a learning curve through life. That, why are we giving up our freedoms? What's going on here? Why is the world in chaos? Why is we at war? War doesn't bring peace. Peace brings peace.
So but pretty much every court document, because I've had a lot of court documents myself, your name is always in caps.
Here's a ticket I have in my hand, and there's only 2 paragraphs on the actual ticket that would be considered allowable, if you would. Because again, everything in the box is not. It's they deal in past and future.
So whoever created this document didn't know that putting things in a box was going to negate whatever's in the box?
For my knowledge, is with the claim that I do not believe that is true, that they are very knowledgeable of that. It's basically a no contract. And when you sign that ticket, you're admitting to this contract, if you would, this document. And as peaceful citizens, we try to comply and move on, but not realizing we're just being harvested for money.
Wow. All right. Now, you guys are creating opportunities for people to learn about this. Is that something you're ready to share yet, or is that forthcoming?
When we say creating opportunities, it's with our volition that everyone creates their own opportunities.
Okay.
We're here to serve a higher source. We're when we speak to the courts, our volition is not only with avoidance of perjury, but it's with the creation of a sanctuary of growing food, educating people, providing the basic necessities of life for free. That's who we are as people.
Okay, and you are going to share information then with people?
If anyone who is interested in knowing or gaining some knowledge of how they can navigate their own lives and through the system, because, like I say, the most important thing is to know who you are. Because it's not a get-out-of-jail-free card. We're not talking about breaking the law and trampling things. We're talking about peaceful transitions, peaceful working together, and people being in their love guidance and their heart guidance at all times, because this isn't a war, because war doesn't bring peace.
Right.
So we shower them with our love and our education, and we'll educate anyone who wants to take back their lives, if you would, and live in peace and have their names as they truly are, because most of these documents, including contracts with the banks and insurance companies, are all written in incorrect syntax. So again, it's about revenue generation, and we're not about revenue generation, we're about feeding people.
So how can people find out, or how can people get in touch with you?
They can contact me through private message on Facebook. I don't use it a lot, but I do go out there.
Okay.
Mageso Ku is my Facebook name. They can also, well, a lot of my information is on my Facebook account, so they can look at it through there.
Okay, so that's Mageso,
Mesokou.
Okay.
Mageso meaning eagle, Ku meaning light, the eagle of light.
And it's very exciting. I know for me, I was in the nightmare of the courts for quite a while, and I lost. So supposedly I lost. I don't know. I think I feel like I won in some ways, and I can't help but think, had I had this knowledge available to me back when, and so it is an opportunity that we can create for ourselves, those of us that are, standing on behalf of Mother Earth, that are, participating in the court systems under the form of like suing, to get back access or whatever. This is very useful information to help win the case and protect Mother Earth. And like you said, feed people. Right now we got a lot of people in trouble not being able to have water.
Well, that's the other thing. We need to protect the air, the water, the land, the medicines. That's all natural gifts that were given to us in our birthright when we were created. And why do we freely give those away? We should be sharing those resources amongst each other.
Yes. Well, the legal system, I mean, with the water, it's so disgusting. I went to the Department of Water, and every law that had been put in place in the protections of water had been repealed in 1988, and nobody even ever really knew about it. And so there's a lot going on. I'm going to try and get to a workshop soon. My work schedule is really tough, but this is really important information. If you're listening, if you're embroiled in the court systems, and you would like to get your legal name back, you would like some information, you can contact Mageso, a personal message on Facebook. Just type in Megeso, Mageso, and he will come up and you'll be able to see what he's been up to. And in the meantime, I'm very...
I think where people get lost, Kailani, not to interrupt you, is they're so focused on these tickets. It's not about the tickets. It's about your sovereign self.
Right.
And then sovereignty, which is a group of people. So we just keep growing off each other, if you would, feeding off our positive energies of love.
Sounds good. Sounds like it worked for you.
It does. Raven also has been successful, but it's a question of we're doing the right thing. We're not doing it in fraudulent methods ourselves. We're following God's law or the higher source law. We're following our own volitions, and we're speaking our truth, and that's all that counts.
We've got 2 minutes left, and I really enjoyed your story of being arrested with your staff. I didn't enjoy the fact that you got arrested, but it was quite humorous.
Well, they couldn't process me because I wouldn't agree to being fingerprinted or photographed.
But didn't they photograph you with your staff in the end?
Well, they did in the beginning, because I asked her, I said, I'm always photographed with my staff, and the officer gave it to me. I said, I thought this was a weapon.
So you're you're at cell block waiting to be processed. You're being arrested because you brought your staff, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful staff with feathers and all kinds of really, you can tell there's sacred religious things on there. And so you walk it, they let you through security.
I've walked into that courtroom with that staff, into the courthouse and courtroom for almost 2 years, and then one day they decided it was
a weapon
and intimidating to the people in the courtroom. And I did say I can understand that the truth would be intimidating.
Yeah. Okay. So you got into the courtroom with the staff, And then they decided to arrest you right there, or
in the courthouse in the lobby.
In the lobby
with one of the local chiefs. I was with Chief Parr at that time. And they took me downstairs. First time in my life I've ever been arrested for anything. So that's why I took a photograph of my feet in shackles, because I've never been in shackles. And
right.
To me, this was all comical because I hadn't done anything wrong.
You'd always brought your staff into the courtroom.
Right.
And so then when they went to mugshot you, you told me that you asked to take your mugshot with the staff, and they did.
And they did.
That's funny.
But now that evidence doesn't exist. They say they don't have videos in that area or anything.
Oh, it's disappeared, huh?
It disappeared.
You watch your back. Mm-hmm.
I can see 360.
Mm-hmm. I know you can, but I'm sure you've thrown
source.
them into quite a tizzy.
Well, it's all about truth and love. There's
yeah,
no reason.
Government's not about truth and love. So, it's about money farming us out.
It's about money, but when they realize that the money isn't going to be paid and it's not going to happen, that the love does get through. And so we even find in the courtroom the judges have been more polite. They've been more dotting the I's and crossing the T's in their own process. So their harvesting has slowed down a little bit, but they're still harvesting the people. And
so the harvesting he's talking about is issuing tickets and fining us. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right. Well, we're at the top of the hour. I'm so glad you made it in today. Thank you so much. And again, if you want information on English syntax and getting your name back, you can go to Megeso's Facebook, MEGESO KOU.
And you can also check out Judge David Windmiller's site, the syntax judge.
That's right. Judge David Windmiller. He's on Maui, you said, right?
Yes, he lives in Maui.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for coming in, you guys. And as we go through, I really am hoping to create some kind of series that we can do every week that's just little bites of information about syntax that we can, play on the air so that people can start to learn about this. Did you know at the time of the overthrow in 1893, there was a 98% literacy rate in English here in Hawaii? Yeah. Our people are smart, so they'll catch on to this real quick.
We know that you're going to catch on faster than that. You get the pure language.
I'm like, I love playing with language. It's such a game to me. Language is a game. Anyway, I'm going to exit out of here. Anything else you want to tell our listeners before we hit it out of here?
Just to find the peace of your true self. Go inside. The answers are within you, not outside. Seek your truth and live your truth.
That's really the best you can do. Just stay firm. Be in love and be in hope.
Be in love.
Right.
We are nature and nature is us.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. We're at the top of the hour. I'll see you guys soon, I hope. It's been a great show today. Thanks for tuning in. From around the world, all our listeners on our very tiny canoe, actually, when you think about it, planet Earth, Papahonua. Love knowing that people around the world can tune in to Kauai Community Radio at any time and get some aloha. And to all our listeners here at home, love you so much. To our brothers and sisters holding off the pipeline across the way over there on the Turtle Island, Oni pa'a kako, we send you our mana. We stand firmly behind you. Love you guys over there for fighting for the water. We'll see you again next week. Coming up is Democracy Now! Again, thanks for tuning in. Much aloha to you. See you next week.